Rainollon here, today is another build showcase, and it's Glaive Prime, so let us immediately start. Today I'm going to show you two builds for my Glaive Prime, so let's start with the first one. The first one is the melee duplicate setup. The mods I'm using for my melee duplicate setup: Melee Elementalist, which gives me status damage and heavy attack wind up speed; Pressure Point for melee damage; Amalgam Organ Shatter for critical damage and heavy attack wind up speed; Galvanized Reflect for heavy attack efficiency, and also 80 initial combo after 4 kills, which is 5x all the time. Galvanized Steel for critical chance and critical damage. You get like 120 critical damage after 4 kills, which is quite good. Gladiator Might for critical damage and critical chance. Volatile Quick Return, we don't care about the bouncing system, we only care about the heavy attack AoE, which this gives us +3 blast radius, which helps us a ton. And Killing Blow for more melee damage and heavy attack wind up speed. So these are the mods. For the Arcane, Melee Duplicate. Melee Duplicate, what it does is on base critical hit, 100% chance for your next attack to strike the second time. So you wonder, what is a base critical hit? Yellow crits. So Melee Duplicate only works with yellow crits. If you do orange crit or a red crit, Melee Duplicate doesn't work. So what is your attack strike a second time? So if I were to toss my glaive and I do 200,000 yellow crit, you will see another 200,000. So it copies the damage, which is like multi-shot, which is really good. So try not to do or use a Warframe that gives you a large amount of critical chance. You're not going to utilize Melee Duplicate that much. So with Gladiator Might and Galvanized Steel, you're going to have a consistent yellow crits, and that's more than enough. So that's pretty much it here. Before people ask why am I not using the Galvanized Elementalist, it gives you 10% less status damage, and the status chance doesn't do much. So it's just unnecessary. While your heavy attack glaive will always guarantee a slash proc. The 2 slash proc are not going to do much. So they're kind of completely separate or different type of dots. So it's just unnecessary. And you also have to battle a chance for it to proc, and it just isn't there. Just unnecessary. Also, this thing does give you 10% more status damage, which just scales much better. It's also multiplicative, so it's just overall better. And much better for this setup. So that's pretty much it here. Everything else here, I can just talk about a little bit of stats here, which is critical chance is fine for this weapon. We're going to have a guaranteed yellow crits when you use a heavy attack. It says here that heavy attacks are doubled, so this critical chance is doubled, not heavy attack. It shows you like x2 for heavy attacks, so this is 220% critical chance. So that means this is from 40. Once you kill 5 people, that's 40 critical chance. Doubles it, so that's 80. So with these two, like I said, it's a guaranteed yellow crit, so you don't have to worry about this not being consistent. Crit multi is really good, status chance is fine, but our heavy attack is going to guarantee a slash proc, so we don't care about the status at all. And that's pretty much it here. That's the duplicate setup. Now it's time for me to show you the melee influence setup. So the mods I'm using for my melee influence setup, they're slightly different. So I'm no longer using Gladiator Might, I'm using Blood Rush for more critical chance. Killing Blow is gone for Shocking Touch. I am utilizing melee influence, so I need electricity. And Melee Elementalist is replaced with Galvanized Elementalist. The reason why is the heavy attack doesn't have a guaranteed chance to proc electricity, so I kind of need status chance for it to have a higher chance to proc electricity on a heavy attack, for it to proc melee influence, and to spread it in 20 meter radius. That's the only difference here. It's just two mods. Doesn't matter which stance you use. You can use Astral Twilight or Gleaming Talon. It's all up to you. It just really doesn't matter really. We're never going to focus on base attacks. We're only going to focus on heavy attacks. And yeah, this is pretty much the setup for the melee influence. You have a really decent chance on your heavy attack to proc electricity, which then has a 20% chance to proc electricity and other status effects like slash and blast in a 20 meter radius, which is quite nice. That's pretty much it with the melee influence. They're very identical, just two mods difference and like one arcane. You can utilize both. Three forma setup, quite easy. And yeah, what I'm going to do here, I'm going to show you the melee influence in game, but this one you can try it out yourself. It really doesn't matter. Enemies are definitely going to die in just like one heavy attack most of the time, so it's going to be hard for me to show you this compared to showing you this in game. So yeah, time for me to show you the melee influence in game, and give me just a second. So I'm finally in a game. This is up against the corrupted enemies, survival. The mission is called Ani at the Void. Of course, this is Steel Path. This is the influence setup, which I'm going to show you. And as you can see, the clear is very beautiful. So you wonder, a lot of people always ask me, how do I do the heavy attack AoE burst? So the way you utilize it and use it, you hold your E button and you toss it, right? If it doesn't explode, it will return to you. The way that you do the explosion is pressing alternative fire mode button, which is the middle mouse. So I just toss it, holding E, press the middle mouse, and it explodes. And then it returns to me. Hold E, press middle mouse, and it explodes. That's how you use the heavy attack nuke. 2 million damage, there it is. Influence procs in the 20 meter radius. The clear with glaives is always and always will be really good, especially with melee influence. Any weapon with melee influence has a massive clear, but glaives are kind of satisfying. You can do it in a very long range, and you can see that it's just bursting down. Oh, that was beautiful. There are enemies below me. Whoop. There it is. They have no chance, boys. They have no freaking chance. I'm not even using any buffs or armor strip. This is just Ember. I will just use my second ability for 50% damage reduction. Just to make myself really, really tanky, so I don't have to worry about dying. Yeah, these guys have no chance. Eximus unit doesn't get killed by the burst, but the slash proc, which is guaranteed, is going to kill it. You're still relying on a small percentage, but if there are multiple enemies, you have a chance to proc electricity, which has a chance to proc influence, and that's going to be a guaranteed chance most of the time. It's quite good. It's still good. It's still one of the best melee weapons. Mostly because it just does a really good job at clearing and becomes a single target. It's good. It's still good. Didn't get nerfed. Didn't get changes. We might get in the future more melee mods, which is maybe going to make this type of setup stronger. But yeah, this is quite good. Still. It's one of the fastest glaives, if I remember correctly. I don't use glaives as much as I used to, but I think this is one of the fastest ones. With all that heavy attack efficiency, or heavy attack vinyl speed, it's just going to be much faster. Yep, Maximus unit, dead. Slash proc. So don't forget, hold E, you toss it, press middle mouse. A lot of people ask me every time I make a Glaive build video, how do you do the AoE explosion? I'm doing less damage than you. You just have to watch the video and I will explain it. Like, I think I explained like 2 or 3 times. I think even now I'm explaining it multiple times. Toss it, press middle mouse, repeat the process. And it's quite good, still is. Still amazing. What's the KPM? Jeez, 500? I'm not even trying. I'm not even using my abilities at all. I'm not using buffs at all. Let me see with buffs. Use my first ability, Nourish. That means I have a chance to spread my viral damage and my heat damage in a 20 meter radius when electricity procs. So now I'm gambling damage types, which is not that good for electricity. I think my first ability gives me so much heat that I'm not gambling heat more often than electricity. So I mess myself up. My clear is going to be much weaker, but my single target is going to be much stronger. Now I'm constantly seeing millions of damage. Oh, yeah, I need to wait for my first ability to go away. So I get my clear back. Oh, I think I saw like 5 million. Ember isn't also the greatest buffer, but it still gives it a huge amount of damage increase. Oh, that was nice. That was nice. Alright, let's wait for the Acolyte. I think he's going to spawn soon. KPM isn't the greatest with this because it's still slow, there's still downtime to damage, and you're still relying on influence procs, but with no buffs or anything, 660 kills, that's still solid. So where the hell is the Acolyte? Oh, there he is. Okay, never mind. Should I use buffs? No, I will not use buffs against her. I will just do it raw damage. Oof. That's without buffs. One electricity proc is maybe going to kill her. Ooh, very close. Two heavy attacks with a glaive and one taps the Acolyte without any buffs. That's kinda good. Alright, let me just extract, talk a little bit more, and be right back. Baby boy Glaive is still good, and I will highly recommend. It's still one of the best melee weapons, I will say top 15 or 10. Clearing is still nice, satisfying, it's good. Influence setup is better than the duplicate setup when it comes to clearing. Duplicate setup is better at single target DPSing than the influence setup. It's all up to you. Which one do you like more? Which one do you want to utilize in what specific mission? You need to understand that glaives do have downsides for some specific boss fights, like the Fragmented one, the Kuva's Attendant Sister, the Arcane fight. They do fall off there. But when it comes to other stuff like 90% of the content clearing ads, it's like satisfying and good. And yeah, I hope you enjoy the builds. Both of them are really good. I highly recommend. And thank you yet again everybody for watching. Leave a like, sub, and see y'all next time. Thank you. Goodbye.